Hey everyone, this is David, aka Koma2000, back after the video on ADSR envelopes. And I felt like we have left a few things unfinished there, and especially with the ADSR-H from Bogaudio. So I wanted to revisit that, so I kept experimenting with it, and I wanted to show you what I built here. So I've obviously seen this patch before. I built it yesterday, so now I'm trying to refresh my memory, and it started with these two envelope generators, and one is in gated mode while the other one is in triggered mode. So I wanted to see the difference between these two modes, and as I said in that video, when it's in that gated mode, or as I've written it, I don't know, then it functions as a normal ADSR envelope generator with a delay phase at the beginning. And what I'm doing here is I'm triggering it actually with a gate output from this trigger to gate module from Bogaudio, because I found the trigger to be too short that is coming from marbles. Because as you can see, we are going from marbles, which is giving us the rhythms and also the notes from the 1 and the 3 outputs, both on the T and on the X sections. So we are going into these two modules, DGATE modules, which make our triggers into longer gates, which we can control here. So now now it actually makes a difference where we set the attack and the decay, and I've set it to wherever I felt it sounds good. And I color this red. As you can see, here we have the gates shown, and here we have the output of the ADSR envelopes. And from the other one, the blue one, is the other ADSR envelope, which is in this trigger mode. And here you have to really fine-tune this hold knob, because how this works, as is written in the manual, is that whenever we receive a trigger here, and here it doesn't really matter how long that trigger is, then the envelope kicks in as long as we set the hold knob here, which it functions as an internal gate. And of course there's also this retrigger switch, where we can, let me see, I don't want to mislead you again, so let's have a look at the manual. It says the retrigger switch controls the retrigger behavior when a new gate or trigger happens while the envelope is running. So you get a new gate or trigger. The attack immediately attacks from the current envelope value, which is a typical behavior, while the reset causes a full reset of the envelope, restarting it at the delay stage. Well, the best thing for us to do is to look at it. So let's watch this blue line. And if I switch this, oh yes, it goes fully down. So yes, it resets, while here it remains up there. So experiment with these settings here. You can also try the different speeds, and we have this triggered mode on now, and there is some looping possibility. Let's see. So yes, with this we control the looping behavior. Let's set it to stop with each trigger input. And yes, let's continue with the patch. I was just double checking. You can also see the notes that we are outputting from marbles here on the scope. So this is our little melody. And well, let's look at the last one here, because I added actually the last row here, because I added a texture synthesizer to the whole thing, because otherwise the melody was a bit repetitive, because marbles is now in this fixed mode where we have the deja vu at 0.5 in the middle and both buttons pushed. So I will let me turn this down a little bit and then I'll show you the original melody. So what happened here is that I set the marbles to the pentatonic scale, and it ended up being this medieval style melody. So I thought, okay, maybe let's feed this whole thing through clouds, and then I built this button so you can switch it just with a push of a button from in stereo from clouds mode to normal mode. So now we are back in clouds, everything fed through clouds. And furthermore, I have this I added a little bit of distortion on top of clouds. So first the reverb and then distortion, and then crossfading the outputs of those two and mixing them together, because there is no crossfader on this stereo Superdrive, unfortunately. But at least it's stereo, but you can always build that functionality in. And I also wanted to control the left and the right channels together, so I'm doing this with these two macro knobs, which are, the left one is controlling these top two, and the right one is controlling the bottom two, so the stereo channels are running parallelly. So whenever I'm turning this, you see like the top ones are turning. So if I mix a bit more distortion to it, and the shape of the mix, so you can control this, the stereo channels together with these two knobs for these two pairs of settings. And other than that, let's go well, let's stay here maybe, and we can record in our little sequence, because that's a question I got in the comments actually, which made me think, like, how can we best record in these CV values. So to everyone who posts questions in the comments, thank you. It's very useful feedback, and makes me also explore some things which are fairly useful, but I have never tried. So I found this module here by Nysthi, which actually saves your whole control voltage values into a CSV file. So then once you have the CSV file, you can open it in Excel or whatever, in Python, and you can do whatever you want with it. So I found that really cool for some analytics or the reproduction, copy paste or whatever. So I think this is the module that this unlogger, and this is the logger. So yeah, I just tried this yesterday. So I think here you can well, I didn't use this apparently. So with oh yes, LOGAN20, yes. So with this you can record in a sequence. So let's save it as a CSV file. So let's say melody and save. It looks like everything is working. So we're recording in this little sequence. We'll stop it now. And once we have that, then in this module, which I will put here, you can open, I think, a CSV file. So we have this melody here. yeah, this is my recording from the other day when I first tried this. So we opened this comma separated values file simply here. And now, yes, that's why I put the mults here, so we can easily just set the inputs to the 2 channels here. So first, I mean the other way around. So the first channel and then the second channel. And now if I start playing this, then the melody is playing back. So I found that a bit I'm not finding the right adjective for this, but very useful for sure, and opens up a lot of possibilities, so maybe inspiring, because you have the visualization here, you can turn down the time to see a bit longer, but now you can record in your whole sequence of notes, and also if you have a CSV, if you have a file with notes, pitch information, in CSV format, you can play it back using this Nysthi module. So very useful. Up there, yes, the top row is just for mixing it all together. I added as a sound effect Plateau with the expander here, and I EQ'd out some frequency that I didn't like. And oh, we have played this melody now the whole time, but let's add in some more randomness. Or we can go to the clouds mode, and that sounds a bit nicer. Forgot to switch it. That doesn't matter. This we could turn up a little bit. Oh, we have a lot of distortion. Yes, it was very quiet, so maybe I'll turn down the mix. I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode. I urge you to try this patch out and play around with it, and let me know what you have found useful. Take care and peace.